Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you guys saw I shared a haul with you a while ago, and this frame was one of the things that I picked up. Great as it is, but I think it'd be 100 times better in a gold finish. And so I am going to try, I have a lot of products that I just want to try all these products with you guys that I have on hand that I've never tried before. So this is Paint Couture. I've tried this this color, but I'm going to do this whole thing in this color. So it's the Paint Couture Pale Gold Metallic Paint. So I'm just going to show it here. I'll leave a link for it in the description. And I always tell people when you're painting anything, spray painting, painting, salving, waxing, whatever you're doing, always try it in a little area first. This is a big area. I put a little bit on and then I really liked it, so I just went with it. So, but always try it like on the back of a frame, or, you know, if it's a dresser you're painting or you're trying to stain or something, just try it in a little area first to see if you're going to like it. I will probably have paint everywhere by the time I'm over with this, but just try it in a little area. And then see if you like it. The good thing with paint, especially if it's a flat surface, I should say, is that you can always sand it down. But it's just paint. It can be changed. You can paint over it. But if you just try it in a little area, whatever product you're using, like I said, I do that sometimes with the Restore finish that I've shared many times here. It comes in different colors. I love that product. I mean, I would probably say right now 5 bottles at least, or cans, or whatever you call those things, on hand right now in different colors. But you know, you just kind of want to see if the color matches the project you're doing. So just always try in a little area. So the thing I love about this frame is all the raised details. It reminded me of a vintage frame. And I knew if I painted it a gold color, it would just, for me, highlight these areas and the, what do I want to say? The dimension and the design, not much more. So something like this, so when you're out thrifting or yard sailing, something that you can do with these is use them as a base for a wreath, or just use them as the wreath itself. So you could add some greenery or something to the inside of this, but the frame actually becomes the base for your wreath. So I love decorating that way. It's one of the reasons why I like thrifting and yard sailing, because you're never gonna have the same. Your house is just not going to look the same as anybody else's. You just get to, you know, have different stuff. And then when people are coming to your house and saying, oh my goodness, where did you get that? Well, I got the frame at a thrift store, but then I just made the wreath or this idea. You could put, you know, a sign in the middle of here, welcome fall or whatever, as well, and then kind of decorate around that. So I just always think outside of the box when you're shopping thrift stores, and that's why I like to do these videos. So I'm just hoping that maybe I'll spark an idea or just keep you thinking when you are out thrifting or yard sailing. There we go. Because I hear often, I would have never thought of that, or, oh, I like that, but I never would have picked it up. I don't know what I'd do with it. So I like to, you know, share some of these ideas to just hopefully, I need ideas. I love hearing what other people are finding and how they're using things, or when you're scrolling Pinterest and you find a great idea. That's another great idea. If you go to mycreativedays.com, there's a ton of ideas for stuff too, but shameless plug there, right? I think what I will do too is, number one, okay, we're doing good if that's the only paint I have on myself. You could also, when this dries, you could do like a antique wax over it. Just, that is my chair if you are hearing that. Did I just get that? Okay, I am trying to be so careful, but it came off. I got a little bit on the table. You could do like a wax, or you could do this in obviously any color. This would be really pretty in black too, now that I'm thinking about this. This would be really pretty if you did this all in black first and then only used this gold paint like on like an old rag or something, or even a real like dry brush. Meaning, let me just show you what I mean when I say that. When you are dry brushing something, you will have paint, you'll get a little bit of paint on your brush, and you literally want to take all the paint off, almost all of the paint off, so that when you go over, something with like this raised area, it's just touching it a little bit, just adding the hint just of the color, just on the raised pieces, and that's dry brushing. That would be really pretty with this. Now I'm kind of wishing I would have done that. But you could do it the other way too. You could do gold like this and then, go in with a dark wax and kind of highlight these areas, which it kind of, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this in the video. So in these, all these crevices, when I was just going over it with the gold paint, obviously I wasn't really meticulous about getting in all the crevices, just this first, pass through. So just like it would naturally, if you were to find a really old piece, like an old gold frame, these, indents and things would still be dark. Well, my brush hasn't touched them. Let me see if I can show you some of the areas. I don't know if I can. It was right there before I did that. But some of these areas are still dark. So you could, if you're going to paint something like this and you just kind of I wanted to cover that. I wasn't a fan of the color of the wood. That's what it is. And so I wanted to cover it all pretty well. And then I can come over it. You could even just use, you don't even need an antiquing wax. You could just come over with dry brush with black paint, over this just to get that same look. And so yeah, I might do that. Once this dries, I will come back. I'll make a decision and I'll come back and I'll show you, maybe I'll do that just in these raised areas and kind of show you what I mean. You could also do it where you are working with different colors, different metallic colors, which that could be pretty too. Mixing metallics can be, if done right, can be really, really pretty. So, you could do, you could do copper or bronzes or, silver and golds. I mean, in some things it probably would look great. I don't know, but yeah, I'm going to let this fully dry. Yeah, I was thinking of the silver and gold and I don't know if I would like that, but I'm going to let this fully dry and then I might come back through with some black paint and just dry brush these raised areas, and I will share that with you as well. This is fully dry now. So I just got, that is my chair creaking. So I just grabbed black paint. This is an all-in-one paint. I will leave links to everything I'm using in the description of this video. And so basically what you're doing with the black, and you could do this the other way as well. So it just depends on what you want this to look like, where you would have it more dark and the gold would just show. You can't, let me move this down. Sorry. The gold would just highlight, you would just be highlighting the crevices and stuff with gold, or do it this way where you have the gold and then you're just using the black to just kind of show some of those details. So what I am doing is I have just an old rag. The gold paint's completely dry. That's a really pretty gold too. So it's kind of like an antique gold and it's called pale gold. So you can see I barely have any paint. You're not gonna, so I always just use what's in when I shake the can, there's always a little paint in here. This is way too much paint. You could use craft paint too, if you have that. You are literally, touch it just a little bit. And then you are going to, so you guys can see what I'm doing. I want it pretty much all the way off. If you get too much on here, just use your rag and, buff it off or kind of And then I am just going over kind of these raised areas. And in here a little bit if I have. But what I'm trying to do, so this is a really pretty gold color, but look what the black paint does to it. It just kind of dulls it down a little bit, and just it's not making it as shiny, but yet it's also highlighting the different details of these flowers and the leaves in the most subtle way. I don't want this to look like, you know, black paint on top of the gold. I'm not trying to make it that, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this. I just want to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll go this way. I'm just wiping that off. And again, so like here, I'll show you. So like that is too much, but yet that's going to touch those areas where I just want it highlighted perfectly. Then just go over it with a rag. That might be easier for you to do. And then I am kind of going over, I'll do the edges later. I won't bore you with this whole thing, but I am going in between here because this particular frame, there are some, it's like wood grain in here, if you can see that. So it just kind of highlights that a little bit. Again, I'm just tapping a little bit. I don't want a lot. I just want to add a little bit of dimension, kind of. I mean, there's tons of dimension, but the black paint is just kind of highlighting that and just making this paint a little bit more dull, a little bit more, I don't know, older looking, what I love. And it's easy. I love sharing these projects because, number one, I'm showing you a thrifted makeover, like how to go to the thrift store or yard sale and find, you know, a piece that, you know, you may love the shape or what it is, but the color is just off, right? And so all you need to do is paint it or stain it or whatever it is. And then also just to show you like these different products to have on hand, and or, you know, if a project comes about to grab, so you can do this. And then how you can just create the look you want for so much less. I don't even know if I'll use a tablespoon of this paint. This jar of paint is gonna last me through furniture makeovers, you know, things like this. The gold paint, I barely use any. So it's just, you know, using these products, and they go a long way, and you can get the exact look you want for so much more, for so much less than like buying new. And then your house doesn't look like everybody else's. You've got like one of a kind pieces that totally fit your style and totally are you. So I just, all the way around, like there's so many reasons why I love these projects. I love sharing projects like this because you become addicted to it too. It's fun. It's fun to decorate like this, and the DIY projects, it's fun. So the frame turned out great, and then I just had an idea. So we found these cork pieces at a yard sale. I'm going to paint this one black and maybe put it in here. If you put it diagonal, like a diamond like this, it fits in the center of this just fine. So again, think of these frames in totally different ways. It doesn't have to be a frame with a picture. Like I said, you could make this a wreath for the front door. You can use it as a cork board. You can make a fall sign with it, a Christmas sign, whatever. There's just so many things you can do with them. So I'm gonna run with this and see if I like it. It worked out. So like I said, what I did was I just painted that piece of corkboard. You can buy those on Amazon. I'm sure you can find them at Walmart, any craft store. We found them at a yard sale, a pile of them, and we just never did anything with them. But so I just painted that black. It took 1.5 coats, I would say, to fully cover it. And then I just turned it in a diamond, like I said, and just cut it so it fit in the back there. And that's it. And then you can use the picture hangers. you know, like in the back to hold the corkboard in. You could hot glue it in, you know, do whatever you want. Obviously, if you had a square frame, you wouldn't have to cut it and do all that. But yeah, and so then I just used just a regular old tack. But now this is a fun little unexpected little bulletin board. But like I said, this is just one option. I love to share different options. Like I said, you could make this a wreath. You could just do so much with this. You could do a chalkboard inside here. So just all you need to do for that is cut a piece of wood that would fit the inside, paint it with chalkboard paint, and then you can use it as a chalkboard. So there are so many different things you can do with projects like this. So if you love something, like I loved this frame, I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. I knew I would give it a makeover. I wasn't loving the wood color. But now it's just, I thought since I had the corkboard, let's share how it would look as a little bulletin board. And I mean, it's a good size. Here it kind of looks smaller than it really is. So yeah, you could use this anywhere in your home, in your office, in a dorm room, whatever it is. But yeah, an easy way to upcycle a thrifted wood frame.